everything you need to get set for investing in the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange this week, straight from the city of Dar es Salaam. Good morning. This is A Trader DSE Weekly Update. We appreciate your tuning in, and let's get straight into. Now, getting into the most liquid shares of last week, let's first understand what liquidity is. It is a situation where it becomes easy to buy or sell off an asset without greatly affecting its market price, hence becoming easy to convert the asset into cash. A common characteristic liquid assets have is that they are transacted in huge quantities, hence making it easy to buy and sell them. Now, coming into our context, the most liquid shares were as follows. Now, at number 1, we have Vodacom Tanzania PLC accounting for 76% of the total volume traded for the week. At number 2, we have CRDB Bank PLC accounting for 26.8% of the total volume traded for the week. And finally, at number 3, we have the self-listed Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange accounting for 0.3% of the total volume traded for the week. Now, concerning Vodacom being the most liquid company last week, there was actually 3 million of its shares which were traded on Thursday in what we call the block trade pre-arranged market board. Now, this happens when an entity purchases shares worth more than 200 million Tanzanian shillings of a company at a pre-arranged price or a negotiated price, and normally this price is lower than the price which is at the market. Now we're moving on to this section where we show all of the listed companies with their respective price changes according to the sector that they each belong in. Now, within the industrial sector, we see a rise in Yatu prices. And for those who do not know, Yatu is the first agri-based company that was listed on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. Now, coincidentally, last week the company released a statement addressing the recent complaints from farmers about delaying their payments on the agricultural produce that the company had bought on credit from those farmers. Now, the statement addresses an apology to the farmers and a promise that they will be paid soon following the procedures set out by the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, the Capital Markets and Security Authority, as well as the Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau regulatory authorities. Now, a good number of these farmers are shareholders in Yatu, the company, and many have chosen to sell off their shares due to the lack of trust upon the company, which has actually caused the share prices to plummet by 56% from 500 shillings in its IPO price last year to 220 shillings as of its price last Friday when the market closed. Now, moving on to company news, last week CRDB Bank and Tanzania Cigarette Company released their 2021 annual reports. Now, for CRDB, it was mentioned therein that a final dividend of 36 shillings per share was recommended by the board and is to be approved by shareholders in the 27th annual general meeting that is to take place on the 21st of May in Arusha, in the Arusha International Convention Center. Now, for Tanzania Cigarette Company, the board of directors also recommended a final gross dividend payout of 300 shillings per share, and it was approved by shareholders in the AGM scheduled on April 21st, 2022, and so it has to be paid out from May 17th, 2022.
All right. Let us move on to treasury bond trading. As you can see from the table, the 20-year treasury bond were transacted at premium prices. Treasury bonds are considered to have been transacted at premium prices once they've been bought at a price that's higher than 100 Tanzanian shillings per unit, because when these bonds mature, the government pays the lender back 100 Tanzanian shillings per every unit bond, meaning that if you bought them for more than 100 Tanzanian shillings, you'll have bought them at a loss or a very expensive price. The purchase of these bonds at the prices above in turn led to this yield trend. These yields are profits that bondholders get if they bought these bonds at certain market price. The lower the price you buy a bond for, the higher the yield a bondholder gets, and vice versa. Upcoming treasury bond auction. On the 27th April, there is going to be an auction for a 7-year treasury bond offering a coupon of 9.48% every year. Here are the details. The amount on offer is 127.58 billion Tanzanian shillings. The minimum bid price starts at 1 million Tanzanian shillings. And the last time a bond like this was auctioned was on the December 8th. It was undersubscribed by 16.6 billion Tanzanian shillings. Being undersubscribed means that investors came forth with less money than the government needed, This was largely because investors in the DSE prefer to invest in longer-term treasury bonds which offer higher interest, such as the 20-year and 25-year treasury bonds. The absolute minimum price to go through was 103.2070. This was a premium price as people are willing to pay 3.2070 more than the bond's face value, which is 100 Tanzanian shillings. Upcoming treasury bond auctions. Here are the 4 upcoming treasury bond auctions. And with that said, thank you for choosing A Trader as your partner to financial freedom. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms to keep you updated. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Have a great week ahead and karibuni sana.